Bar is moving. I see sound. There we go. Okay. Well then, welcome. Welcome. Hello. Highly anticipated. Hi. Everybody's in. Why would you expect any sort of change to the quality that we've been delivering consistently without fail? The one thing that is consistent about us is that you can expect this type of programming when you tune in to a Zaibatsu affiliated stream. Now, I guess the idea is committing to Saturday nights means that you're going to be committing to them, regardless as to whether or not there's something like AGDQ going on. I guess you're just going to be competing with AGDQ, Woolie. Way to think that one out. Guys, I've been talking about it for years, so it's time to just actually play the fucking thing. Ikaruga. It is my favorite shmup. I can say that this is to me, this represents pinnacle shmup, right? But at the same time, some new badass contenders in the form of Devil Engine exist. So it's like, maybe, you know, maybe things are not as cut and dry. Maybe the throne is being contested at the moment by some of the new shmups, and I have to actually finally beat it and get through it and find out whether or not this is the case. But I've been hearing good things, and in particular, Shmup God Pat has been like, yo, no, this game is for real though. So I'm like, okay, fair enough. I will take that heavy consideration. Ikaruga, though, this is a game that, like, you know, there's a lot to say about it. It's 2001. It came from one of the golden years of video games. Had to put the HUD on fat because the normal HUD is so tiny and so clean and crisp. It doesn't want, you guys would not be able to read the text at all. This is not on Dreamcast. I'm running the Switch port, which Nicalis has ported over. So, does this game have a story? Strange Coincidence asks. Why, yes, it certainly does. And we will get into that. I have a lot of things to... We'll get to the TED Talk eventually. Don't you worry about it. This is a fraudulent run because it has continues on. So you're not going to see me clear this game on... I'm not going to 1cc it or 2cc it. You know what I mean? Like, this is going to be just me doing a fraudulent run with continues. But I just want to play it out and give it an earnest shot. And this is the kind of game that, to me at least, it requires concentration in playing and whatnot. So I'll do my best to not shut up for too long. But we're just gonna play. I'm gonna see how it goes. I'm switching to Ginkei, which is the second player ship because that is my jam. Shoutouts to Kagari the pilot. We'll get into the plot, you guys. Don't you worry about it. And we're just gonna go through. I'm gonna do some stuff if I can, see how it goes. I'm obviously whatever. Throw the Johns out. You're going to see deaths, you're going to see ugly shit. We're going to spend a lot of time going through all of that anguish, but for now, we're just going to launch out of the sword of Akala and do our thing. We're going to stay in black, because staying black is important. Oh god. Oh, it starts. There's going to be no end to that shit tonight, I promise. But it's fine. It's fine. Tonight's the only night. I understand and accept it. No, that's not true. That's bullshit. I'm lying. I'm making fun of me. The moment I fucking, like, remember first losing my shit, besides the first impressions of the game in general, was when Shmup God Pat showed me a video of this Fuck. Switch too late. This crazy-ass skilled Japanese girl that was playing 2 players in the arcade with both hands. So she played... did I fuck up? Yes, I did. No, I didn't. I'm okay. She played one hand on each stick and literally just fucking, like, cleared the whole game clean. One hand per fucking character, and it was incredible. Excuse me for a moment. I'm checking out. I'll be right back. Yeah, we're just gonna lame it out. We're just gonna lame it out. Yes. And we're free. Whoa! Fuck me! God damn it! Talked too soon. Talked too soon. Ah. Yep. Okay. Alright. Alright. In between. Yes. Did I fuck up? I lived. I lived. I lived, bitch! Oh, here's the fun shit. Right in between? Yeah, buddy! Boom, 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 boom. And then get out. Don't last too long. Don't enjoy it for too long. Fuck. Almost had it played. Alright, well, we're out. No shame in being a scrub. Yeah, dude, it's Ikaruga. This game's gonna kick your ass. It's gonna kick my ass. I love it. But I only have tricks that I've picked up over the years. Like, I do not have fucking 1cc ability. Okay, here we go. Let me say find the fun spot. Right here? Yeah, check this shit out. Woo! Thread the needle. Right there. You can absolutely just stay untouched the entire time. Okay. And then the fucking walls. There we go. Oh, I love it. I'm gonna cower behind this wall because that's what pilots do. That's what true heroes do. It's gonna force me out anyway, but for this phase, just like, fuck it. We're hiding because it's gonna be full of bullshit in a minute. Don't you worry. This is free chains. Ah, that was the gap to get out. And we gotta stay up here. And then just kind of live. And the stage backs down on you, and then the music fucking picks up, and the enemies start coming in, and then they start shooting their dots out, and then you just gotta start fucking paying attention to that shit. And, oh, there's that bullet. Let me just hide behind here if I can. Oh! Oh, this level. It's so brutal. Live. Nope. Never got good at this. I've never gotten good at this area. Alright. Cowered in the corner. There we go. And then it just goes even further. And then you have to get used to this type of shit because the game asks you to do a whole lot of this later. Woof. God damn. Ugh. Ugh. Jesus Christ. And here we go. Just... This is not gonna work out in any way, shape, or form. This boss is just bullshit, and that's the end of it. There's nothing else to say. Oh, God. Nope. Nope. Like, it's just the tightest it's ever been. Now? Nope, not now. Fuck it. We're just getting in. We're just getting in. Now you just gotta wait. And not touch any edges. Not like that. and then use the beam, and fight back against its push while you're inside this fucking corridor. Oh my god, it's just insane, guys. Like that. Oh my god, just... It's utterly insane. It's absurd. It's completely absurd. And that's boss 4, you know. Opposite colors do double damage, by the way. So when you see areas where anything that you shoot with white bullets that is black takes double damage, and so on, and vice versa. So that's kind of your goal in general, if you can. But your real goal is to not fucking die. How can you feel the invisible things? Yeah, victory lap as in, if you're good at shmups, then you can deal with that a lot easier than you can with level 4. If you're me and you're a scrub, then it doesn't fucking matter. I don't get to call it a victory lap, but to people who know what the fuck they're doing that are good, yes, it is. This level 5 is easier than level 4. Then, yeah. But oh my god, yeah. It's not like it's not a cakewalk by any means, but then these fucking snakes start spiraling and doing their bullshit, and then you've got to just deal with that. Hope for the fucking best. And then they're indestructible and they keep flying at you, and then you've got to, you know, it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. There goes one, and then we switch to the other, and then you're coming out white, and then nope, and then we're stuck. And then we do it like this. It's just so fucking hard. It's just so hard, you guys. But I love it. It's hard, but I love it, and I still wanted to play it and show you guys all the cool shit it's got. There's a lot to appreciate, even without the skill to clear it. Stand back here, get a full meter, energy max. Fuck. Okay, gotta focus. Switch, 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 switch. And here's the stone like. Never die with regrets. Here you go. No shots enabled. So, time to just dodge. No bullets. Dot eat. Do your best. This is what they were training you to do earlier. Fuck! You can do better than this. I know I can do better than this in this area. Switch, switch. Switch, switch. God, too early. Switch, switch. Switch, switch. Yeah. Boy. Alright. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. How do you even see? You can't see. You have to feel. And you have to know. And you have to just fucking deal with the pattern. And you absorb and you absorb and you take it all in. And then the Ginkei, piloted by Kagari, feeds it all back. Overloads itself, dies, but also defeats Stone-like in the process. Limiter release! Fade to white. Hey! What's up? Yeah, you're good. Do your thing. Do your thing. Don't worry. We'll life succeeded into the distant future. It's all good. Go get a bite. And we look at the credits, pay F to pay respects. Press F, rather. And we look at the finch, a flock of finch birds, aka the Ikaruga. And they fucking fly through the beautiful sky, and they do their thing. And that's the 20 minutes. That's all this game is. So it's a cool 20 minutes, right? It's pretty. It's nice. All the years that I'm referring to this game and how much I like it and all the music and the art and all that stuff it's just this, right? It's just this simple, basic thing. Now, what's the deal with this game? Right? So there's literally a gigantic story going on that is detailed all over the place. There's FAQs and there's art books, and if we go to the appendix, right, and you take a look at the gallery, so the deal is this: Ikaruga is the name of an island, right? Your main character, well, it's also the name of the main ship, right? But your main character's name is Shinra. Ginkei is the second player ship. Ikaruga means finch. It is the specific type of Japanese bird. Ginkei means silver bird. Shinra, main boy, pilot of the Ikaruga. Well, what happens is Shinra is well, we'll get there. Kagari, pilot of the Ginkei, and Kazamori, the old man that is the village elder on the island of Ikaruga. So basically what happened is, a long time ago, there was Horai Tenro was someone that was basically, he had an island, he's the leader of an island nation named Horai, and he discovered the power of the gods and used it to single-handedly conquer all other nations and went to war and was pretty much unstoppable, and led to more or less the world being conquered by the power of the gods, as it were. Shinkai, Amanai, and Kazumori are all elders from an island called Ikaruga. They were all basically refugees from places that got conquered, and they're all these old people that kind of gathered and made their own nation. Shinra, our pilot boy, where are you at? There you are. Was fighting against Horai and his armies and crashed, and his ship got shot down. It crash landed on the island of Ikaruga, and basically they nursed him back to health over the course of a while. And hey, I'm not regret. There you go. And I love the fucking English. They nursed him back to health, and then they built the ship of Ikaruga, which was the first the first ship that actually had the polarity switch ability, that had the chance at fighting back against Horai and his armies. Kagari is an enemy pilot that Shinra defeated and shot down, but chose to spare instead of kill. And in that moment, she awoke to justice, I suppose, and she switched sides. And her ship, the Ginkei, was outfitted with the polarity switching ability as well. And the two of them set off to defeat Horai once again, despite the fact that it was pretty much a hopeless cause because the entire world was covered with his army. They launch both ships out of the Sword of Akala, which is the name of the giant ship you see in the beginning that the Ikaruga launches out of and spins and does that cool ass thing, the big corridor. That thing's called the Sword of Akala. Here's a depiction of a moment where there's another piece of art that's the kind of depicts Shinra and Kagari kind of facing off in person, and then him choosing not to kill her, and he gets shot in the head there. But this is some key art representing that moment. Of course, you've got your ship. Okay, this is Horai Tenro, one of the only depictions of the asshole that conquered the world, with a giant ass cape and fluff. So that's what that whatever the deal is, we don't know fully. that's the depiction right there. We're going, yeah. I'm digging lore because I just love this game and its lore and a lot of the little bits and pieces, and I love to like headcanon a bunch of it too. You've got Asami, who is the pilot of Butsutekai, the first boss mecha that you fight. You've got Kira, who's just a generic general who commands a bunch of the armies that Shinra is fighting, while going through a lot of what you see in chapters 3 and 4. What I think, I mean, there's obviously those events and those stories and like the basic shmup battle that's happening and all that stuff. But I think that, like, alongside that, even with the English text, a lot of what this game represents is basically from, and this is all headcanon, but I remember having discussions with Shmup God Pat about it. Like, I believe that, like, each level of this game is more or less representing a path to enlightenment, right? And it's kind of questioning those ideals in some way with the dialogue that pops up. And really, yes, if anyone's like, yo, dude, you're getting up your own ass with this bullshit, you're correct. And that's okay. By all means, completely dismiss it. I said Devil Engine earlier, but I meant to say Zero Ranger. I totally meant to say Zero Ranger. My mistake, not Devil Engine. Zero Ranger as the possible new fucking throne of shmups, by the way. Each level has a name. And I think that what you're looking at with each level is basically the path that you take, right? Getting to this conclusion. Prologue, Cirrus, cloud formations in the sky, headcanon, I don't know, like the trails behind the ship, or just looking up at the sky, dreaming, whatever you want to call it, right? And this is just a track list, so it's gonna like include boss names and such. But chapter 1, ideal, right? The first thought you have, the inception of whatever it is you want to become or whatever direction you want to go, the beginning of the journey, so to speak. Trial, right? Undergo, like, once you've made your decision on which direction you want to go or whatever your thought process is, you then undergo the difficulties that come alongside making a decision, right? You move on from the ideal to the trial, to the actual, like, physical effort that you put in, or even mental effort that you put in. But the point remains, it's that it's now not just a thought, it's moving forward in some direction. Chapter 3, faith, right? Your trial takes you to the point where you are more or less confronted with more than you can handle, and you pretty much are just going on your belief in the ideal that you had to begin with and sticking with that. And in theory, in headcanon theory, you know, like, things are getting so difficult that, like, your faith is the only thing you have to carry you forward at this point, because you're right in the middle of it. Chapter 4, where, to me, again, the most difficult fucking part of the game, reality, right? You get from the point of actually just holding on to your beliefs, and you're faced with the harsh-ass, brutal reality that is pretty much an unbeatable situation. It is a situation where you are going to die and fucking try again and whatnot, but you're basically, like, you're going from your ideal, right? You're going through the trial of what you believe in, and then, like, holding on to just the faith of it, and then you're faced smack dab with reality, cold, like, this is what life actually is, and it's going to sometimes conflict with whatever your ideal is, and you've got to deal with that situation. And in theory, this is a point where you might succeed or you might fail. And I suspect that the game, based on its difficulty curve and the way a lot of this is played out, is kind of emphasizing that you're supposed to fail here many times. And the reason why I think that is because the name of the final chapter is metempsychosis. Metempsychosis is the word that literally refers to dying and reincarnating. In particular, your soul carrying forward, even though you switch bodies, right? For a video game, that's fucking perfect, because literally you are dying and coming again, and every time you die, right? You try again, you come back, you redouble your efforts, right? And you revisit your ideal, you put your faith in it, you go through the trial and you face reality once again. And if you die, then you just, the cycle continues, you know? But each time you die, in theory, you're learning you're learning something with it. Each time you reincarnate, you're reincarnating with some further knowledge of what's going on, and you're dying without regret, so to speak. If you somehow manage to make it past this phase of infinite reincarnation, and your journey has eventually come to its conclusion, you get to face the Stone-like, which is the enemy that you can't attack at the end of the game. Now, the Stone-like, according to what I remember Shmup God telling me, this is an off translation, an English translation, for what is supposed to be the immovable object, right? The immovable object is also something that returns from Radiant Silvergun. And in theory, at this point, if this is representing the journey and the place that comes past your reincarnation metempsychosis moment, it is either referring to the fact that A, you become like the immovable object, or B, as you challenge the immovable object, the only thing that can do so would, in theory, be the unstoppable force. And that is a place that has no real conclusion. The unstoppable force and the immovable object, they define contradiction, but ultimately it's a thing that just keeps going perpetually. So whether you take on the attributes of one or the other, this is the final conclusion you get to. You've moved beyond a phase of infinite reincarnation, and you get to be a spiritual being. You are no longer tethered to everything, and your ideal has carried you forward to your epilogue. So I think that's what the game is trying to sort of do in an Englishy, schmuppy 20-minute way. And that's my theory on it. That's my headcanon. That's what I believe. Again, feel free to make fun of it and tell me I'm up my own ass. That's totally fine. But I believe that, and that's part of the reason why I love this game and I like what it's doing. All right, so step one. Let's get that screenshot going. Let's read our English, shall we? I will not die until I achieve something. Even though the ideal is high, I never give in. Therefore, I never die with regrets. There's your thesis, beginning and ending, from ideal to dying with no regret. Full of English, nonetheless. There it is. It's right there for you. The two-player from a while ago was a dude. Oh, okay. Okay, so the two-player, the person that fucking crushed it with both hands at the same time was a dude playing. So that's a correction from the Shmup God himself, and he sent me some reference playthroughs to be like, yo, if you want to tighten up your gameplay, you can watch this and learn how to fucking do it. Thanks, Pat. There's your thesis. Beginning and ending to me, right there as the first piece of text that pops up. This is the Sword of Akala, right here. Alas, Ikaruga is going. Undesired. Unwanted, them. What makes them go? It is nothing else than the principle of the man who has the reason for being. It's so English, you guys. But chapter 1, ideal, alright? So I think it's just introducing the concept of, like, what makes you move forward? What's your reason for fucking stepping out there? What's your reason for launching? Even though you crashed and you failed in your attempt to defeat the thing that has already taken over the world, by the way. Horai has already taken over the world. You have failed to stop him, but you're not dead yet. And you crashed and you got shot in the head, but you're not dead yet. And these old people, they helped you, they made a new ship, and you're like, yeah, I could just sit here on this island, not move forward, grow old and wise like them, and live a peaceful life because we're hidden. But fuck that. I'm going to get back out there, and I'm going to launch from my ship, and I'm going to attempt to fight literally the world because Horai has taken it over. and I'm gonna go back out there because I'm not dead yet. And what is your ideal? What is your reason for moving forward? You know. So there we go. That's what I think. I'm full of shit. I'm an irrelevant YouTuber. What do I know? But I think it's fun. What's the warning? No refuge. The big enemy is approaching at full throttle. According to the data, it is identified as Butsutekai. No refuge. And the city down below, when we were playing through Nier Automata, and I kept going, oh my god, this is just Ikaruga, it's because this is exactly what it looked like, right? Like, do you remember those parts where 2B was in the fucking ship and just flying over the city, and every time you'd fly to Earth, it would look exactly like this? Like, that was not accidental, you know? Like, I fucking felt it, man. I felt it. The way you fly over the maps in this game. Oh, fuck! Shit! Damn it. Damn it. I missed it. Did I get... No, I think I missed it. The more stubborn your own will is, the more trials you'll be blessed with. Of course, if you can avoid the trials before your eyes, it is also possible for you to flee them. But the real purpose of a trial is to make your soul stronger. Chapter 2, Trial. Again, right? You could have just hung out there. The world is already defeated. Everything is over with. You had no reason to get back in your ship and get back out there. But every time you face this trial, it improves. You learn something. You get better from it. And quite literally, the people who are masters of this game have played it infinite times because we are beings of pattern recognition. So we understand exactly how to make one step forward, 2 steps back, 1 step forward again, another 2 steps back, fucking Shadow the Hedgehog, and but slowly but surely crawl your way into being a better person and making your soul quote-unquote stronger. So thesis statement again on its sleeve right there as you get to chapter 2, Trial. Of course, Shinra representing, you know, the everyman on their journey, Kagari being the every woman. Defeated. Both of them have an origin story that begins with their defeat, mind you. Right? And then getting back up there to fight against what is surely a loss, a guaranteed loss, but banking on the fact that, yeah, we'll be back. We'll do it eventually. It's almost like an anti-Gurren Lagann sort of like philosophy, where it's like it's not about like believing. It's not about, well, it is about believing in yourself, but it's like it's not like you're like, oh, I'm gonna crush it the first time no matter what because of my willpower. It's like, no, your willpower is not to not lose. Your willpower is to lose and 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 lose infinitely, and know that you always have another shot at it. You know, it's embracing failure as opposed to just being confident enough to completely crush it. Woo, we lived! Yeah, there we go. That's a digital, that's a tech yin-yang, by the way. If you didn't notice, the second boss is a giant yin-yang fucking mech design. Like, straight up. Chapter 3, Faith. There is no absolute in this mundanity. Occasionally, you get lost facing unreasonable burdens. In order to overcome, you need a firm conviction, penetration, and the ability to take action. You need a firm conviction, penetration, and the ability to take action. That's everything you need to know right there. But yeah, the penetration aside, the idea again being that your faith is all that's carrying you forward at this point, because the difficulty that you're encountering is something unlike you've ever seen before, but in fact you possibly have in a previous reincarnation. You need conviction and resolve to get beyond that point. Oh, we're lagging. We're lagging. Like, so Ikaruga is interesting, right? Because a lot of shmups give you, yeah, we're good. A lot of shmups give you, speed ups, right? They give you the ability to move faster with power-ups. Gradius is one of them, where you can choose to power your ship up and get faster. This game does not let you get faster. It wants you to be slow for the whole game because it wants you to be precise, you know? And there's a lot of bosses and moments that would be way easier if you could move as fast as the game itself is throwing shit at you. But your slow precision is what makes it that challenging. And you don't need to be faster. It would be easier, but you don't actually need it. The game gives you everything you need. Mind you, this is also a game with no upgrades, no power-ups, nothing to make you better at fighting and surviving. We fucking lived, and then we're dead. Damn it. I can't answer the phone now, Mom. I'm in the middle of my metempsychosis. I'm sorry. I'll call you later. Like, I promise you guys, it's so much cleaner when you have that precision. But the only way to get there, right, is, I mean, natural reflexes in shmups will get you pretty far, but it's just raw repetition, you know? Like, fuck. All you're doing is just memorizing and getting really good at that memorization process. And like, pixel by pixel, moment by moment, input by input, you learn because the stages never change. There's only a few enemies in this entire game that are randomized, and usually when you kill things too fast, there's a couple of points right before the boss where you see enemies kind of come in, and like, there's like specific moments there where it's like, oh, you can't full-on gain the amount of points you're gonna make because there's a random element to like how they spawn. Chapter 4, Reality. And reality is unveiled. What did it want? What did it see? What did it hear? What did it think? What did it do? You got no answers at this point. You're fucking just beating your head against a wall because it's so hard. It's so impossibly hard. And you just gotta keep at it. And you die and die and die, and then you pop your quarters in, and then you die and you die and you die, and you pop more quarters in. And generally speaking, you don't get beyond this point. You face reality, and this is where your journey ends. And then you start the whole thing again, over and over and over, you know? The thought is that if you're playing this game honestly, right, you're not doing what I'm doing right now, which is the continues run. You're playing this game trying to beat it with 1 credit. You're not making it through the rest of the video game and getting to this point and not dying. Like, the best players in the world, like one of the rankings I fucking found for just if you can beat the game and like keep your combo going, and not die and do it on 1cc, you're in the top 10 because this game is just that fucking brutal. You know, it's like it's ridiculous. But if you're playing this game, what I was trying to get at is in the philosophical sense. If you're trying to beat this game earnestly by collect your thoughts, by surviving every other level. That's how you get out. That's how you're supposed to get out. By surviving every other level and then making it through this chapter without dying, it's just fucking... You have no idea what to do. So I feel like the flavor text is almost like referential to the fact that it's like, yeah, you got no help here. There's no paragraph to tell you what to do. You don't know what the fuck you're gonna do to try and get past this, because this is where you're gonna get stuck forever and ever and ever, amen. If you actually do attempt to do this without dying. That's what I think this level is. That's what I think that text means. And I think that in a Japanese arcade, like, your credits might cheat you. Your credits are the quickest way to enlightenment. It moves smoothly, you don't. And that's just the end of that. Christ. Dead. Just in the middle. Would you believe me if I said that on the practice run before the stream started, I actually got one full revolution? So I actually stayed inside this chamber for like a full circle. And I was like the proudest I've ever been. It's the proudest I've ever been, is one full circle. Final chapter, metempsychosis. Finally, karma returns to the place once belonged. It recalls the genesis of consciousness carved for abyss of memories. Hence, Ikaruga is going. Gibberish? Yes. However, the pattern I'm sure you can see here, this, if you try to infer what you can from the text, you know, excuse me. It makes reference to returning to a place. It makes reference to the genesis, the origins of consciousness, right? It makes reference to the memories you build every time you go through the cycle once again. And hence, Ikaruga is going is the first the first chapter. The text in the first chapter. Alas, Ikaruga is going. Hence, Ikaruga is going. So, it again, is going, probably a huge mistranslation for something that they probably wanted to say, like, go forth, or, you know, begins its journey, or something along those lines. But, yes, that's the thing, is the final chapter cutoff point ends with the beginning of the first chapter, and rebirth, and resurrection, and reincarnation. As such, through metempsychosis. It's fucking awesome! It's the coolest shit, you guys. I make you alive so that you can walk along the right way, but can't you understand it? What is there to say? We don't know. Oh shit. Okay. Ah, fuck. Every time I think I'm surviving! It's like, no, you're not. No, you're not. It is impossible to cut off this metempsychosis forever. You can also see it, can't you? Switch. 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 Fuck. Keep track of the color. Absorb. Hit all three buttons at the same time. And dodge all bullets incoming. And that's basically what your brain has to do. So, I'm playing a rhythm game with my fingers, and the only thing I'm actually paying attention to right now is not touching any bullets if possible, and that's literally it. Thus you've achieved your mission without any regrets. I will not die until I achieve something. Even though the ideal is high, Chapter 1, I will never give in. Therefore, I never die with regrets. Once again, we were supposed to understand it. Can we see the liberty and freedom? Nice and vague. This boss's life. Sometimes in life, you can't fight back. Is this what we wished for? Sorry to interrupt. Don't worry. We will understand each other someday. And the life succeeded into the distant future. Let's see, what are you saying? This boss's life. Sometimes in life, you can't fight back for whatever reason. All you can do is survive for the better cause of your ideal. Yeah, that's one good way to put it. That's one interesting way to put it. I believe in that. What are you saying here? The last lines from the ship AI. Releasing restraint device. Removal of the limiter will cause overheat and possible destruction of the ship. Was I helpful for you? I'm deeply grateful to you. Oh, fuck. That's cool. That's the ship itself, basically, like, accepting what's happening and accepting the final sacrifice. That's super rad. I like that a lot. There's an AI aboard the Ikaruga that is absolutely understanding of what's happening. That's interesting. I didn't know that. That's new shit. That's new shit. Ikaruga is like Ada. It's alive to a degree. The last thing I want to show you guys before we fucking move on here is a replay of what this game is supposed to look like when you're a god. 55 chain, still going, moving to that exact position right there, and then slightly to the right, because the enemies come 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 1, 70 chain, killing everything in patterns of 3. Look at that shit. Shooting in between the space because they wave back and forth. You get dead center, you graze up to the top, and then you kill them in 3s. And he broke his chain, unfortunately. Oh my god. And then here, very carefully, continuing your chain. It's so fucking sick. And it's relaxing to watch. You know what I mean? Hug the right side. They send them out in 3s, and so the thread the needle, this is what it actually looks like. Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Chain. Never stop chaining. There's 6 for you. Specifically kills 3. Make sure you shoot these. Don't hold the button. Kill them right on thing, otherwise you lose your chain. He lost his chain. He let one get away, he lost his chain. But you have to shoot, so that you don't fuck it up. And then this is what I'm talking about. So this is one of those bonus patterns, where the faster you kill everything else, the longer this goes on. And you can just weave in between and pick them off for little bonus chains because you went through really fast. Shot, 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 shot. You gotta know, you know where they're coming from. And he fucked up. But that's what it looks like when you're just like, you know exactly that pattern. And you just take pot shots like 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and you keep the chain going for 1 second. So these are random. You cannot control where they're going to pop out and what colors are going to pop out. So chaining here is really hard because you can't memorize this moment. This is always going to just completely be random, and depending on how fast you kill that mid-boss, that thing will come at you sooner or sooner. When I said killing bosses soon before they get a chance to start fucking your day up, this is kind of what I meant. Yeah, I hugged the diagonal way too much. Like, he actually gets aggressive and moves a bit further to the 12 o'clock in the beginning there. And I think that makes a difference. Because instead of shooting the same color, you're always shooting opposite colors consistently. And the next time a revolution happens, they're all almost dead, and then now they just die in one shot, like this. Pat, 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 yeah. That's the benefit. Drop a bomb, and just like that, clear. That's exactly it. Still chaining in the midst of madness. Because you take out all the black, and then you don't have to worry about when you have to take out the white. These quotes out of context are terrible. I don't care. That's Ikaruga. Race war starts now. Yes, so just careful. Like, you can see the hesitation, right? Now the confidence goes away because no one can confidently breeze through this level. Reality is reality is reality. And your movements are less precise here. You can see the panic, but he's still chaining. Well, no, he fucked up his chain actually. And then there's just this shit. Like, I just have no words for the actual legit way that you get through this. It's showing 3 gates at you of opposite colors, and then you just gotta ride it out. You know those games where it's like, they're Japanese games where you're holding a pole, and you have to guide the pole through a bunch of electric, like, barriers? It's basically that. And that's it. 1 revolution. 1 clean revolution, and you're good. Back, 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 back. It's just so swag. It's like, You just make the game look good, you know? You just make it look better than it is. Like, I mean, it's a godlike game. That's not what I mean. Like, oh, even here too. Back. Yeah. When you know, you just know. Anyone who recognized kanji, know what those symbols are? If you can, let me know. That'd be really cool to find out the lore of. Yeah, here we go. So this is what happens when you don't die. This is what happens when you don't die. It's the bullets come at you full on Mushihime-sama / the Donpachi style. Brutal. And that is a top tenner. And that's 21 million points. And that, like, oh, you know? Yeah, man. That's Ikaruga. That's what this game is supposed to be. So that's it, man. That's what Ikaruga is about. I fucking love this game. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I hope I feel like I've shared as much of why I will always buy this on every platform, and why it keeps getting ported. You know, for those of you who've just been like, you're like, why does this game keep coming back? It's because of all of this shit. You know. Bread Assassin. Fun fact, Pepsi once controlled the 6th largest military force after being gifted 17 submarines and several warships from the Soviet Union following the Cold War to sell products in Russia. They were eventually scrapped to cover costs. $3 billion value. Bread Assassin, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. I didn't need to know that Pepsi had an army. That's fucking weird. That's literally going into PMC territory. Like, we're full on Metal Gear Solid 4 at that point. Holy shit. God. Anyway. I am going to grab a beverage. I'm going to switch up the inputs. And we will be back shortly with a game change. And perhaps, if someone's feeling up to it, a controller change as well. Will serve. Be back in a few minutes, guys. Sit tight.